show here on this beautiful Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. We are now officially done with week 1 games of the NFL 2021 regular season. And wow, lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of crazy football, especially last night, which we're going to dive into here in a bit. We got some other things we're going to go over, especially with that mega cast for Monday Night Football taking place last night. We'll get to that as well, and some other news surrounding the NFL world. But overall, hey, hopefully you guys won your fantasy leagues out there. I have 6. I went 3-3, not the greatest, but hey, still 500. That's good. I consider that a dub. So if we continue up in that upward momentum, upward shift for me, that'd be awesome. But hey, we're gonna talk more about that fantasy stuff this Friday with the Fantasy Football Fridays taking place now on the show throughout the entire regular season this year. So that'll be great. It's a new segment. So if you haven't watched that yet, we did the first one last week. There's only 3 of us. We're going to do it or continue to do it throughout the regular season. But this Friday, hopefully, we'll have at least 4 or 5 of us here to talk about some fantasy football. But hey, with that being said, let's get to it. We got that Monday night mega cast. We got the Ravens, where the Raiders pulled off a crazy victory in overtime. And then we're going to talk to Josh Gordon, some more news around the NFL. And that's basically it. So, are you ready to get your fix? Well, like I said, we're going to talk about that mega cast. So, for those of you that don't know, last night on Monday Night Football, it is a new thing. I think it's for 3 years at least. They're doing a mega cast. So, what it is there's going to be 3 different broadcasts of Monday Night Football. It'll be on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Deportes. Now, ESPN2, I feel like, is a little different. That is what we're going to be talking about. Okay, it is called Monday Night Football, Peyton and Eli. Now, if you don't know who Peyton and Eli signed this 3-year contract, they're going to have their own separate broadcast booth. They're going to be in separate locations, have some celebrities, former players, former coaches come on the show. We'll see how that all transpires, how that all unfolds throughout the whole season, I guess. And I was really excited. So I was like, fuck it, let's see when are they going to start this? Is it going to be week 1? Of course they did. So I was like, all right, let's go watch this. It was on ESPN Plus. So if you guys have ESPN, or if you have an ESPN Plus subscription, go watch it. I think they're doing it next Monday as well. You might be intrigued, you might not. For the most part, right when this got going, all right, garbage. I thought this was brutal, like very, very brutal. I'm assuming they had to lose a couple fans or a couple viewers as they were going through. I mean, they almost lost me right away. Okay, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I was like, no. I'm like, if this is going to be the entire show, I can't do this. This is going to be too much. It takes away from the game. You really weren't understanding anything at that point. But, like, right away, okay, I mean, it seemed like as if Peyton Manning was just super rushed, okay? It sounded like he was just trying to get out 1,000 words in about a minute span. Like, it was a lot to take in right away. And you could kind of see Eli, like, noticing it a little bit. Maybe not, I guess physically, but you could kind of tell by the way he was talking, by how slow he was talking. Right away, they both, I mean, were just yipping and yapping. And it was just all over the place. It was a lot to take in. And I think they both, weren't quite 100% prepared to do this in front of, thousands and millions of people out there. But it was brutal. I mean, the best way I could say it, like I have been, I guess, is literally just their mouths were running faster than their brains were working right off the bat. Okay, it was just too much. Okay, just going yippity yappy. You couldn't even. I mean, they didn't even know how to. I guess I'm not the greatest yet at this, and I can still get better. So I'm not trying to take any shots in here. I'm just giving you my viewpoint from this, but. They could not, they did not know how to bring in a guest, like announce who's coming in. They did not know how to, get to break or like how to cut it off before break or, bring it back after break, give us that little intro or that ending or outro before commercial and after commercial breaks. And that was really rough at the start. I mean, as it got going, they even had to have some of the ESPN guys, like behind the scene people saying, all right, we're going to commercial break in 5, 4, 3, 2, won. And basically at that point, you just kind of knew. I think both Peyton and Eli at that point, they during commercial breaks, they were probably like, dude, we got to figure this shit out. Like, this is bad. We got to make it so we can, make sure we don't lose viewers and stuff like that. And they weren't losing viewers. It was one of the most highly watched things last night, I believe. Monday Night Football. I think this was the most watched Monday Night Football game since, 2013, viewership-wise, on television and stuff. So that's a big stat. But that's also due because of the MegaCast, 3 different spots to watch this game last night, so that gives people the opportunity to maybe view it if they're unable to view it on a certain channel and stuff like that. So that was huge. But at the start it was very rough, very brutal for the Manning brothers on Monday Night Football. But as it started going on, as the game went on, they got a lot better. It was smoother. They do have potential to go for it. I mean, they're going to be doing this for 3 years. This is take 1. I've looked back at my take 1, and I can't even get through 5 seconds of it. So that tells you right there. I mean, there's a lot of growth to be had there. There's a lot of maturing to do. They still dove really, really deeply into the aspect of the football game. I mean, they were calling plays, why they would do a certain thing. Why did he make this throw on the nose or not? But it's gonna be interesting. I'm still gonna watch it again. They're only doing this, I believe, 10 times this year, so that's gonna be interesting to see their growth with only doing 30 games in a 3-year span, which is a lot. But still, you'd like to see a little bit more. If this is turns out to be a major hit, I'm assuming they'd probably do every Monday Night Football game like this, or in the future, I should say. But for right now, it's all right. I still like the idea of maybe you can still watch the Peyton and Eli one or whatever, but if you're not interested and you're starting to, not enjoy it at all like I was for the first 20 minutes, it was bad. But I stuck with it and did it. So that gives you the opportunity to switch over to the regular cast, what you're actually, familiar with the older, more experienced announcers. So right off the bat, I thought this was, it was a good take. They made a lot of improvements throughout the show. They're showing potential, so this is going to be a good thing going forward. The most watched Monday Night Football game since 2013, so that's a big hit there on ESPN's part. So let's talk about that game then. All right, this is the game that Manning was doing. Both the Manning brothers were covering. Raiders, they got a dub, 33-27. But what a game! This was a very, very weird game. I mean, Raiders starting to drive down the field, can't fucking hear. Cars back, you're like, hey, quiet the fuck down. I can't, false starts left and right. No, not on the same page, can't make your throws, you're a little bit behind. I mean, the whole game was just, it was weird. You're in your home stadium. You shouldn't have to tell your home crowd to quiet down on offense. They should know that. I mean, when Peyton Manning was there, they talked about this on their cast. When Peyton Manning was there, the whole crowd was silenced. I think Ray Lewis even made a joke where they probably fined somebody for, even saying a word, because they just knew you have to be quiet, let that offense work and stuff. Be loud for the opponent's defense, but at the same time, let that offense get the play call out and then go nuts. You know what I'm saying? So it was a weird game. I thought both teams looked a little sluggish. I think it was probably due to the noise and how loud it was there. I mean, you got to take in mind that none of these teams played in front of fans last year for the majority of the season, other than the Chiefs, obviously. But I mean, when fans come back, they have that new level of excitement. Okay, like I'm gonna have when I go to the game. I mean, it's going to be electric. You gotta expect it to be electric. You gotta be on the same page. Maybe come up with key words to call your plays instead of doing something like that, or go with your hand signals like 1 that's on 1 or something like that, or that's on 2, something easy so they could get that under control. I think as the game went on, they sort of figured that out to the best of their ability, but not the greatest. But game ended up going in overtime, and this is where it got fucking crazy. Okay, so the Raiders fucking start the overtime drive all the way down the field, get to the 1-yard line, right? And that's because they thought they scored. They didn't. They were fucking hooting and hollering. We won the game. They're on the field shaking hands with the other team and stuff like that. And they're like, hold on, dude. Every touchdown's reviewed. You were down at the fucking 1 yard line. Get back in the sidelines. You got another play. Don't fuck it up. What do the Raiders do? Well, they fuck it up. Almost. So that touchdown gets called back. They're on the 1 yard line. They do a quarterback sneak with Derek Carr, hoping to get in. They don't get in. They're on the half-yard line at this point. It's 2nd and goal, I believe, or something like that. Incomplete pass, and it goes to 3rd and goal. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down. So now they're backed up even further. Gives the Baltimore Ravens a chance to capitalize, hold them to a field goal possibly, and have a chance to win the game. Well, what do the Raiders do? Derek Carr throws an interception. Right then and there, I'm just like, are you kidding? Like, of course, they thought they won. Now, they thought the game was already over. They're not in the game mood anymore. It's like shake hands, get in the locker room, go home, go to bed, repeat. And now it's not. All right, you gave the ball back to Lamar Jackson, and what he is capable of doing is insane. So it's like, oh shit, what do we do now? Well, that Raiders defense obviously didn't think it was game over right away, so they come out, stuff the Ravens time after time, and then end up causing Lamar Jackson to fumble the ball due to Max Crosby, who had an amazing game. Okay, 2 sacks, had a lot of quarterback pressures, did a lot of things right, and helped the Raiders actually get a win here. But he causes Lamar Jackson to fumble the ball. The Raiders hop on it. It's fucking Raiders ball on like the 36, 33-yard line, somewhere around there. So they're right there. All they need to do is kick a field goal. It's over. Okay, obviously that's not what they're going to do, having 2 timeouts still. So they finally say, you know what, fuck it. Let's take a shot. I think they did 1 or 2 plays before that, and then they just hucked it to Zay Jones, I believe is his name, for a 31-yard touchdown. And that was the game. Okay, that was basically it. It was just a whirlwind of emotions. It was just like, if you remember that Minneapolis Miracle, fucking 10 seconds or whatever, 12 seconds left on the clock, Diggs gets thrown the ball, and Marcus Williams misses the tackle, and he's gone. It was something like that, but not as crazy, obviously, where, it was just, all right, we didn't win the game, let's just punch it in, fuck, interception. Okay, now we got to get Lamar Jackson, fumble, let's go, and then just score. It was crazy. It was a good game. Overall, Darren Waller did exceptionally well. He had 19 targets, which is a lot, and he had 10 catches, 105 yards and a touchdown. I believe in his last 8 games or last 7 games or something like that, he has had over 100 yards receiving, at least a touchdown a game, like 10 plus catches a game. So he's looking like a stud. If Derek Carr continues to target Waller as much as he did this first game, it's going to be interesting to see that stat line, especially in a whole 17-game season. This guy could go fucking bonkers. I'm telling you, break the tight end receiving, or actually break the receiving record, which is not going to happen, obviously. That's really, really far-fetched. But Darren Waller is a dude, and John Gruden said it last night, he's the best player I've ever coached, which, are you sure? Like, you've had, Warren Sapp was on your team when you were with the Buccaneers, and that dude's a Hall of Famer, so it's like, you sure that's the best dude you've ever coached? Granted, kudos to fucking Darren Waller for what he's been able to do. Came in to the NFL as a wide receiver with the Baltimore Ravens, had some, off-field issues that, prevents him from playing, so he went to do his rehab. He started a rapping career, then comes back as a tight end for the Raiders, and now is just a superstar and a stud, and is going to continue to do that. And we seen it last night, 19 targets. 100 yards, 10 yards a catch, and a touchdown. That's, all you need, okay? You just got to help your team win, and that's what he did. And on the other side of the bar, Lamar Jackson, he did okay. Could have done better, obviously. Could have got the dub, but I think, like I said, that crowd noise probably got to him a little bit. He went 19 for 30, okay, so over 50%, about 60, somewhere around there. 235 yards, and 1 touchdown. No picks. And he also ran the ball 12 times for 86 yards. But this is where he needs to clean his game up. 3 fumbles, okay? 2 of them he lost to the defense. That's huge, Okay, especially that last fumble. They could have won the game. They could have drove down the field, kicked field goal, won the game. That would have been it. That fumble that he had and he lost cost him the game. He has to clean that up. He has to make sure he's holding on to the ball. He has to make sure he's not taking risks. He took a lot of risk last night. I thought he could have slid a lot more than what he did, but I think I can't remember who it was on the Manning cast last night, but they pretty much said like, "Hey, I mean, I told him, or it was Ray Lewis. He's like, I told him, you got to slide more, dude, blah, blah, blah." And apparently it just all boiled down to, like, he's just playing ball. Like, it's football. Like, he's just going out there and playing ball. Whatever he thinks is going to be in the best interest of the team and in the best outcome for the team, that's what he's going to do, and he's going to try to be as safe as possible. But he's still, protect the ball a little bit more. Go down when you don't need to, take a big hit or even try to force a big hit or something like that. But Lamar Jackson, for the most part, he's still a dog and still sling the ball. He just has to make better choices, take care of the ball, and he's going to be just fine going forward. I think the Ravens have a good team. Like I said, that Allegiant Stadium, when it's packed and the crowd level is just, through the roof. I mean, where Derek Carr has to calm down his own offense because he can't fucking hear. No one can fucking hear. Reminds you like the Saints stadium, the Caesars Superdome down there. But I mean, it was a good game, a very good game. It was close the whole time. I think we had a very, back and forth, a very good back and forth battle between each quarterback, Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson. It's going to be interesting to see what Gruden does with Carr going forward. I thought he played a little under expectations, I would say. I think he could have done a lot better. I think he could... forget about that crowd noise, make the right decision as a quarterback, and I think they'll clean that up, obviously. It's only week one, okay, a lot of overreactions going forward or coming after this week one. They got the Green Bay Packers losing 38-3. I mean, hold your horses, okay? Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Saints last year in week 9, 38-3 as well. So it's like you got to take a breather a little bit on all these, on all the little things, especially week one, okay? Like, it's football. The whole NFC North lost. Okay, week one doesn't start till this week for any of those teams now. Okay, clean slate. So it's like, hold up a little bit, take a deep breath. Your team might have lost, your team might have won, but there's still things to improve on. Season still, we have 16 more games, so it's like, just chill a little bit, But hey, good win by the Raiders there, 33-27 over the Raiders on Monday Night Football. So now let's transition over to some Josh Gordon news. We've been waiting to hear about this for quite some time. We noted earlier in the year where he filed for reinstatement to the NFL. I mean, he did play in that fan-controlled football league for, I believe, a game. Did exceptionally well there. But per Adam Schefter on Twitter, he said the NFLPA determined Josh Gordon has successfully completed his NFL monitored treatment program and has recommended to the NFL that he be reinstated per sources. Gordon is awaiting final approval from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, but he is said to be ready to play and vaccinated. Huge. Already vaccinated. He's ready to play. He's passed multiple, like probably hundreds, thousands of fucking drug tests because that's what the dude, ultimately was kicked out of the NFL for a couple times. So, I mean, he's doing the right things. He's getting on the right. He's getting on the right pace here, and I think he should be reinstated. I think that's a good idea. I mean, at the same time, it's like you already gave him that second chance, and I can see if Roger Goodell says, "Yeah, hey, look, like you had your shot." Okay, nobody. I mean, it's hard enough for kids to even get drafted in the NFL, even make an NFL team. I believe it's like 1% of like high school athletes or college athletes will even make an NFL roster. It's fucking insane, and now you want me to give you a third chance when we go get a guy who has never had a shot, who could do the same exact thing. I can understand that whole side of his story, but at the same time, this dude was a fucking freak. He was stoned or drunk every goddamn game, and still had the receiving record, had the receiving touchdown record at one point. I mean, this dude put up stats. Granted, he didn't win games, but you gotta understand, he was with the fucking Cleveland Browns, and they had a very bad team at that time. Okay, so, I mean, I think you give him one more shot, and if he fucks it up again, like, you can just pretty much kiss it goodbye. And I think if he does get that shot, it's going to be avoidable contract where if he does fuck up, I mean, he's not going to get paid. And I think that might be in the back of Roger Goodell's mind, like, hey, like, these teams could give him a voidable contract because what if they don't have the money right now? And because the cap space was lowered this year due to COVID reasons. So it's like, hey, maybe give him a voidable year. If he screws up, he's not going to get anything. And that's pretty much solely on him then at that point. So it's like, well, we'll see what happens. But this is good news, okay, especially by the NFL Players Association coming out with this, okay, monitored drug tests all the time, okay. He's ready to play. He's vaccinated. That's another huge thing, okay, which leads me to my next point about the Tennessee Titans. Well, they now are apparently suffering a COVID-19 outbreak. And it's pretty big, okay? Now, if you remember, the new rule states pretty much that if you are unable to play a game due to COVID-19 reasons and you have to, then you pretty much have to forfeit. I believe it's if you're a home team, if you have COVID outbreak and it affects a lot of players and you're at home or something like that, you have to forfeit that game. There's no more moving games. Like last year where we had Monday through Sunday, or Sunday through fucking Saturday games pretty much every single day of the week. So that's the new rule. Well, the Tennessee Titans, okay, have a big outbreak right now. Adam Schefter on Twitter said, here's the breakdown of the positive test results from this. Oh, excuse me. The Saints organization, not the Tennessee Titans. That is my fault, but at least I got the tweet up here. But here's a breakdown of the positive test results from the Saints organizations per sources. 8 total cases, 6 are offensive coaches, 1 nutritionist, 1 player. Now, the Saints have had a handful of, so it really is calling into question their status for Sunday's game versus Carolina. But, hey, I guess as one of the Saints said, we'll be just fine. I do also believe, so the 6 coaches and the nutritionist, they're all vaccinated. Okay, so they should overcome these symptoms pretty quickly. Hopefully, we'll see what that has to do or how that transpires. But then that 1 player who's on injury reserve, I believe, is not vaccinated. So, I mean, he's on injury reserve. That one probably won't matter as much. But, hey, I guess apparently there were only 9. Okay, just 9 players league-wide on the reserve/COVID-19 list entering today. So with these 8 cases, that's huge, okay, especially with the Saints organization. They got to play Carolina, okay? They're coming off a huge win against Green Bay. If they have 8 cases, only 1 player on the injured reserve, so it's just the coaching staff that has to figure their shit out. They're probably out boozing too much out there in Jacksonville after that big win. They're just fucking, we got a dog, fuck Rodgers, whoa. Like, chill. You know, well, I don't know the whole story, but that's probably what that's what I assume would happen. You know, they get a big fucking 35-point win. I mean, they better be celebrating. I don't know how hard they were celebrating, but apparently they all got COVID, so that should tell you right there how hard they were partying. But big news right there, okay? That's huge. We'll see how that news transpires. There's still, I feel like, plenty ways back, especially we don't know who these players or who these staff personnel are at the moment. At least I don't, so once I figure that out, we'll kind of go from there and see, hey, are they going to be ready to play Sunday against Carolina? So that news will come out hopefully within the next day or two, and we'll get that brought to you on the show as soon as that happens or transpires. But then another piece of information surrounding 49ers running back Raheem Mostert, okay? He went out week 1 against the Detroit Lions with some knee issues, or there's a chunk of bone through his knee or something like that he needed, or that required surgery. Okay, it's a 6-month recovery period, so you can pretty much kiss his season goodbye once again, which sucks because I had him on one of my fucking teams for fantasy, but that is just how the cookie fucking crumbles. 0 points. I could have won if he would have fucking played the whole game and didn't get hurt, so that was awesome as well, but we'll get to that again later. But apparently now, running back Kerryon Johnson has signed to the 49ers practice squad, which is huge. I'd expect him to break into that 53-man roster. Will probably send someone down to that practice squad to fill his spot, but hey, it's a big signing, okay? Kerryon Johnson, he's looking like, he has looked like a solid number 2 back, number 1 back if you really need it to happen. But that's a big sign, okay? One of my coworkers was talking to me about like Kerryon Johnson for a couple teams. Like, hey, sign this man. Like he's pretty decent. Get him on the field. He was going to get a lot of carries, and hey, it came to fruition. Okay, and then who knows how they're going to utilize him? I think Elijah Mitchell did really, really well for the 49ers against the Lions. I believe he had 105 or 110 rushing yards, so that's a big deal, especially coming off the bench like that. So who knows what they're going to do with that 1-2 punch. Even if Kerryon Johnson is the second back behind Elijah Mitchell, I still feel like he's going to get a significant amount of carries along with Elijah. So, hey, that's basically what we got for the show today. There's some decent news. There's some, not newsworthy news as well. So, hey, week 1's done. On to week 2. We will cover some of that tomorrow, especially with that Thursday game this week as well. I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but I will for sure do that tonight and tomorrow and kind of get ready for that. So we'll talk about that game tomorrow as well as some other pieces of news surrounding the NFL. So with that being said, go enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow here at 6 p.m. Central Time like always. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Thank you guys and come again.